Hi everyone, welcome to my end presentation, starting with the goals that I had at the start of this semester and that are still my goals in general. As you can see on this beautiful sheet, it's to create my artist identity and go out with it. I also wrote it down here, like I want to be an artist with an online presence, performances in the real world, but I also want to become a sound designer and creator for projects and media such as film, videos, performances, games, etc. I also have it here, a little board where you can see me performing with the band, having a YouTube channel, Spotify channel, but also here the composing and the sound designing. And yes, so during the course we made different exercises of the awareness of the inner world to understand ourselves better. One exercise that was really interesting for me was the artistic bus, where we took a look at the personas that are ruling ourselves. And that was really interesting to me because I noticed that my anxious and my freeze me, who are like blocking me a lot, are in the front a lot of the times, although I don't really want it. So here you can also see how I would want it to be and what I'm gonna work towards. Have like the flow me, the inspired me in the front. So that was a really interesting exercise. We also have my values here. We don't have to go too deep into that. And also strengths and weaknesses. Similar to the bus, I often notice myself being scared, being pressured, being blocked, not feeling small and not good enough in my art and things, and therefore also just feeling stuck. But I also know my strength, that I'm getting better at grounding myself in the moment, getting back at enjoying making music again. My songwriting and composition is really good, etc., etc. That was also, of course, always really nice to reflect. Coming to the area number 2 is like where you're more like experiencing and learning with the things you have inside, right? So starting with the energy givers and takers, which I think is always so good, and it was also really good in this course to reflect upon. Any kind of pressure inside of me just takes so much energy from me. Like deadlines or school, etc. This one was also really interesting, the ACT matrix, where again I got to reflect on, okay, what am I actually doing when I'm in a mode of okay, I'm not good enough or I'm small, whatever, and what can I actually do to then go back to my flow me and being happy with what I'm doing. That was also really interesting. You can see it here. And yes, other learning outcomes were like, okay, I really need to take breaks. I need to calm down the inner perfectionist, arrive in the moment because that's giving me strength. I need to connect more with people that believe in me, and also need to create outside of school without any deadlines and stuff, because that way I can come back to why I'm really creating, right? Then the pop circuit as a system. I got to analyze like Wusu, which was really interesting, and also Kling Klang Klong, the company where I wanted to do an internship at. What was really nice about those researches was that I actually learned how to properly research a company, like not just the company but also the people in there. I also mapped out my network that you can see over here, also realizing my network is actually bigger than I thought. Also learned how to research people over LinkedIn. That was a very big learning outcome for me. Yes, we don't have time to go through all of these, but let's just say I learned a lot in this part. And also the gaining experience in the field was really interesting, because we got to these are still questions that I prefer for like Wusu, but we didn't actually go there, but I will go there at some point, and then I can ask those people these questions. But we made excursions to Podium Explore. I got to know the people there, which also led up to me performing there with Gaia's Vision, also showing again how strong it is to have contacts and treat them the right way. Also with Friesland Pop, it was also similar to that. It was super nice to go there, to know that I can go there in the future, which of course I will also make use of, because you can ask them anything, they can connect you to anyone. It's like super helpful for me, especially as a smaller artist. Other experience we made, like we performed a lot, contacted venues, etc. Coming to the end now of this performance of this presentation, to my conclusion, I did learn a lot about myself, about what's actually driving me, about my patterns, what's holding me back, and how I can counter that. That was really, really valuable for me. Also, the pop circuit as a system, like how it works, what is important, right? To be proactive, to research properly, to have lists of all the names, all the emails out there, and know who's fitting to what you make. And I would say overall I did get closer to my goals. I feel very determined to keep going, mark my goals and the steps I need to take, and also keep up the entrepreneurial mindset that I really developed over this course, but also over this half a year in general. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening, and thank you Bob for this class. It was really, really valuable.